like Russ's bomb squad coming in the last 15, 20 minutes and just destroying the teams. So yeah, that's what we wanted to do. We just beat him at his own game. You know, we're the only one to this day to ever beat Michael at his own game. And that wasn't by coincidence, you know. It was because of preparation. It was because of my visualization. You can ask anybody that was in my close circle when I was 18, 19. I was solely focused on racing him. You know, I showed him the most respect by showing him no respect. 75% of people can't swim. That means if we throw 3/4 of our population into the ocean, we're going to drown. We're going to lose 3/4 of our population. When I was born, I mean, this is a well-documented story. My dad said, my son, I'm going to make a champion. This is my boy. I'm going to make him a champion. We didn't know what sport it was going to be. Done this. I want to make sure that every kid, like you said, feels like they're being a part of something bigger. Yeah. And, you know, not every kid's going to be an Olympic champion, right? Not every kid's going to pick up the World Cup trophy. But you know what the most important thing is? Besides having fun, being the best version of yourself that you can be. Yeah. And that's all I want. Yeah.
All right, guys, what is happening? We are back again with another podcast episode here at Beyond the Game with yours truly, Juicy J. Guys, before you do anything, right, to my current subscribers, right, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment and engage with us, all right? To my existing subscribers, please, you know how to do. And then to my up-and-coming subscribers, if you're new here, all right, please come with us, enjoy it, have some fun with us, and engage with us, all right? Cool. So today we have today I'm taking you guys somewhere, right? I want you to guess for a second before I tell you. The second is gone. Okay, cool. Today I'm taking you swimming, all right? So I have one of the most decorated swimmers in South Africa, right? This man has done it all, right? From being in the Olympic stage, winning gold medals, Commonwealth, you name it, you know. He's from Durban as well, you know, one of my favorite cities. You know what I mean? I think that's where he gets the charm as well. I mean, this man has dimples for South Africa. That's what they call him, dimples South Africa, right? So, guys, I have the massive honor today to be sitting down with the legend himself, Chad Le Clos. My brother, how you feeling, G?
Nice to see you, brother.
No, nice to see you too, bro. How
they
you
call
feeling?
Me Juicy C. You Juicy J, I'm Juicy C.
Juicy C. Guys, you see that? I mean, it's all juicy. You know what I mean? So
only in Joburg, though. Durban, I'm just Chad, yeah.
Durban, you just Chad. Okay, cool, man. Listen, my brother, it's good to have you here. Thank you so much for your time.
Man. No, pleasure.
I know you are a busy man. You know, you are a busy man. It was also difficult getting you here as well. Had to really move my stuff around. But brother, tell me, how are you feeling? Honestly, bro, like, how are you feeling?
Listen, it's you know, since we last saw each other at the Sharks game, I think it was at the back end of last year. It's been such a crazy ride for me. You know, obviously I've had a bit of a break now with the swimming. I've been enjoying life quite a bit in January, February, but I've really set up my businesses going forward. Yeah. Really want to help the kids. You know, we'll talk a little later about the foundation work and about the work I'm doing with the kids. And, you know, you were there the last few days with me. So
truly inspiring stuff.
No, thank you. Look, it's been a huge dream of mine since I was young, you know, to really just give back to the kids. And that's that's just been something that I've been really grateful to have such a great team and to be a part of that. Thank you. We're just blessed to be here, you know, and thanks for having me on the podcast, man.
That's amazing.
Big fan.
I'm a bit starstruck right now. Well, Chad, I think before we get into your many successes, bro, because I mean, you have done it all, bro. Like, you have really done it all in terms of like your swimming career. But before we get there, you know what I mean? Because you were born in Durban, you know. I just want to go back for a bit, you know, to who Chad really is, you know, also for someone that's watching, that's new here, that probably doesn't know you, you know what I mean? I want them to get a bit of a background of who you are, you know what I mean? Outside the many successes that you have, outside the gold medals, the silver medals, the bronze medals, I just want to get to just like take me to, you know, who Chad is.
You know, I think it's a good question. I think I've been in this game for a long time, you know, so it's sometimes hard for me to take me back. But what I always do before a big meet is I take myself back to that same kid that was at Kings Park, you know, with my dad and my mom, and I had the goggles around my neck at 8 years old. And it's a reflection back to remind myself why I'm still doing what I'm doing. Yeah. I know the question is what I was before, but it ties into what I am now, because I was a passionate kid that loved sports. So soccer was my favorite sport growing up, you know. I think it was just always sport from like day one. You know, I just loved watching United on TV. I loved watching the Springboks. You know, I wasn't much of a cricket player, but I loved watching the Proteas, Bafana. I was a fan of just all sports South African, you know, as a kid. But yeah, I just love being outdoors. I loved surfing a little bit when I was very, very young. We came from pretty humble beginnings. You know, we grew up in Parental. Still live there. Still live there with my parents when I go back. But we love just being outside. We love our family. We have a private every Sunday, usually with my sister's children and my brother when he lives here, my older brother, and their kids. So we have a really big family. I mean, Christmas days for us look like, you know, anything from like 75 to 120 people at the house. You know what I mean? And the house is not much bigger than the studio. Yeah, you know what I mean? So we hustling for space, but you know, family, sports, you know, just being outdoors. Yeah. That was me as a kid growing up. And then obviously when swimming became a bit more serious, I had to, you know, I just had to
take that direction.
You know what I mean? You know how it is.
Yeah, because you mentioned that, you know, you first loved, you know, playing soccer.
Yeah.
You know, did you ever think that you would, you know, connect with the water and become, you know, a swimmer one day? Or was it just like, you want to be like I want to do the soccer thing. I want to play soccer. Then how did you actually even find, you know, swimming, bro?
No, it's a good one. I think for me, when I was young, like I said, soccer was my first love. You know, my family were from Mauritius originally, my father. So they all played for Mauritius. There was only about 30 people to choose from, you know, so they all made the national team. No, but listen, all jokes aside, I had really great sportsmen in the soccer and the hockey field. You know, Uncle Chad Le Clos, he was a South African hockey player and soccer, football back in the 80s. So we had a lot of people that played sports in the family growing up. But yeah, swimming, I was the first swimmer of the family. And how it actually came about was we were just playing a lot of sports. And basically, I think it was Miss Lindsay Manthe at Penzance Primary. She like identified me as like a talent, potential talent. And I was young, I'm talking 8, 9, 10 years old. I wasn't anything like special at that age, but I think that I had a natural way of connecting with the water.
With the water, yeah.
I think swimming's a weird sport, man. You know, you take a week off and it feels like you're out the water for 2 weeks, you know, like respectfully for other sports, like running or like regular soccer. We naturally walking 2Ks a day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like today I've walked half a K just getting to the car and back. But with swimming, you lose that natural feel. You know what I mean? So it's a very different sport. So people always like, you know, Wade van Niekerk, Akane, you know, these are all my buddies. And we ask them how far they run. I mean, we swim probably more than they run in a week, which is crazy. Okay. Right?
Just spend so much time with the water and there's no oxygen.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? We swimming 50, 60, 70 K sometimes in a week, you know, and these guys are running the same.
I don't look at it that way.
No, but think about it. These guys are running 400 meters. These guys are running. I'm swimming 100 meters. I'm doing what Akane's doing, but Akane's running less than me. And running is 4 times easier than swimming, like distance wise. You know, it doesn't make sense. Swimming doesn't make sense. That's what I'm trying to say, you know, but, you know, as a kid, like I said, I fell in love with the game. I fell in love with the idea of being here, talking to you, being this person, you know, so it wasn't necessarily that I chose swimming, you know, it was that swimming chose me.
Swimming chose
me. You know, if I had the choice, I probably would have chosen to play soccer, if I'm being honest.
I know you actually mentioned it. Swimming chose you.
100%.
So you just walked by the pool one day and the watch just said,
called me in.
Come here. I can imagine that.
Desperado.
Come here, Chad. Come and swim. Bro, that is really amazing, man, because I mean, by the age of 10, already you were making waves. And I think by the age of 14, you're already in the senior team, bro. Like, you were really that good.
I think what happened, you see, I have to take you back, you know, it's a bit of a story and maybe I don't want to make it too long here, but my dad, when I was born, I mean, this is a well-documented story. My dad said, my son, I'm going to make a champion. This is my boy, I'm going to make him a champion. We didn't know what sport it was going to be, right? My dad said this to all his friends back in the early 90s. And what he did was he guided me in the right direction to making decisions, even at a young age. So he would go and he would ask your parents, how did you make it in rugby? How did you make it in podcasting? How did you make it in fashion? Whatever that niche was. So he would just learn and he would be like, okay, that's what not to do. He would go to parents, I don't want to mention names, but they were like really amazing juniors in South Africa, like unbelievable juniors. And he would go, Madam, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for asking. I've got a young 13-year-old boy. He's got a bit of talent. Your boy was one of the greats at 14, 15. What happened to him? Why is he not swimming? And then they would explain, he did this, he went to America.
Yeah. Then
he left the coach,
yeah.
found alcohol, found women. I'm just saying, not that it was that, but he would learn along the way. So as a guide and as a mentor, I had my dad that really guided me through. And it's not because he's sitting behind the cameras. I'm saying, trust me, I'm not trying to boost my dad. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth. And the reason that I became successful and still am successful, relatively successful in my 30s, which is unheard of in swimming, is because as a kid, I didn't burn myself out. I didn't kill myself as a 10-year-old boy.
Okay.
And this ties into my future plans with my foundation. I want to save swimming in South Africa because I believe we have so much talent, so much untapped talent. We spoke off camera the other day about that. But in order to have that, we can't be killing swimmers and making them swim 5 kilometers a day, 10 kilometers a day at 12, 13 years old. Yeah, they're going to be great at 13, 14. They're going to be better than I was ever at 14, 15. I can promise you now, by the time they're in the trick, tired, burnt out, jawling every night,
mentally,
doing things they shouldn't be doing because they've been locked in for so long. I had many guys at my age that were better than me, but we always stayed the course. We always just had progression. It was always about progression. It was always, we never did any gym. You heard the chat that I had with the kids. We never did gym. We never shaved our body until we needed to.
Yeah.
Some of these boys come up to me. They have the best suits, best goggles. They're 10 years old. And they go, my boy is the best butterfly. So I'm like, ma'am, your boy is 10 years old.
Let him be a kid.
Dude, I couldn't even 10 years old. I didn't even understand what shaving meant. You know what I mean? I didn't understand what the question meant. I was just free and I was just enjoying life and I was playing soccer and rugby and chilling, And that's what kids don't do today. They want to be professionals at 9, 10 years old. This ain't going to happen.
I can feel that.
Ain't going to happen.
Because already, in high school already, I think more so now than
100%.
ever. When I was also in high school, because I moved to 2017, it was December holidays, not December holidays. I just to make sure I run and you do this and you do that because already it seemed like at school already not even enjoying what you're doing.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's exactly that. I think, listen, I'm not saying we don't have to work hard.
Yeah, obviously.
My age gap was 2007 when I was 15. It was that's when I got to kind of make that switch because I have a talent and I have to work a little harder. Swimmers do have to kind of push a little harder than other sports because it is a young man's sport. You see the Olympic champions are in their early 20s.
Okay, yeah.
At 26, 27, we're done. You know what I mean? I'm one of the few exceptions that's still, with the old stick walking around the pool deck, in the grandpa. So, at the end of the day, you have to work, but you have to understand that there's a balance.
Yeah.
You can't be on the creatine at 14. You can't be doing the weights at 14. You know what I mean? I don't know how it is with rugby. I'm not going to speak for other sports, but these swimmers are picking up stronger weights than I do now at 15 years old. I mean, it's crazy. What are they going to do? What are they going to do when they're my age? What are you going to do when you're 20?
Yeah.
If you're already doing what I'm doing at 15, how are you ever going to achieve something
crazy? Yeah.
You're going to be burnt out. You're going to be exhausted by the time you come to 21, 22 when you should be starting to hit your prime. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's all me, Chad. Your dad, I think, just hearing your story as well, he's been like a prominent figure for you in terms of, just grooming and just always being there. You know what I mean? How important has that been for you, mentally, emotionally? Because, it does happen that, we do all the best that we can to impress our parents sometimes, you know what I mean? But
sure.
Never even there. But obviously circumstances are obviously different depending on, the family that you come from. Because you're probably hey, of course, your dad is just more focused on making sure there's food on the table.
Sure.
Actually just be able to support you, how important has that, his role been for you, until now?
100%. Both my parents, mom and my dad. My mom played a different role than my dad. My dad was obviously more out there and more on the public figure. But my mom was like the rock behind scenes. She was the one that, waking up at 4:30 to take me to training. My dad was always there. He was there at every gala, both my parents. But so what my dad did was, he tells a beautiful story, but dad will tell it better than me. But his father, my grandfather, who I never met, because he passed away. Yeah. And he never watched my dad play soccer. He was a great father. He, like you said, provided food. He come from poor upbringing, my parents, very poor. Yeah. He provided food on the table for the 10 children that they had. My dad was one of 10 children. He's the youngest boy of 10, right? So that was his dad's job. And he loved his dad, loved his mom. He said, when I have a son or a daughter, I'm going to be there every time they run, swim, kick, whatever they're going to do. So, for all the parents out there and all the people listening, you don't have to always use that excuse of saying, Oh, because I grew up like this. I got smacked as a kid. I got abused or whatever it was to be like, oh, now I'm just going, my dad was alcoholic, getting deep here, but like, you can change the narrative.
But you can
change the narrative as a man or as a woman, you know what I mean? So yeah, my dad just decided that, and he said, I'm just going to do the opposite. I'm going to be there every day. And that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day for me, it wasn't necessarily about winning or losing. It was about seeing my parents in the stands.
There, yeah.
And unfortunately in South Africa, we don't have, great parental roles or whatever we want to call it, because like you say, it's hard,
It's hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
And I just encourage the parents, especially that are, whatever you're doing, I mean, just be there on the Saturday afternoon for the rugby game, for the soccer game. It just means more than anything. Trust me, just to see them in the stands go, whistling, seeing them like, he's there. You know what I mean? In the back of my mind, I know that I'm safe now. Because they're protecting me. They're there. And I think that for me was the most important thing, So I'm grateful for both my parents. I'm grateful for, of course, my dad, because, he was really heavily involved in things that I did.
No, that's actually really powerful, but because, like, as you say, like, it's really important, just, in as much as everything else is happening, at presence, it just makes a whole world of difference, because
just be there, man.
Yeah, you can find out that, hey, no one else probably believes in you. Probably your coach will tell you that, hey, Chad, I believe in you, but,
it's different. It's home difference.
When you go through like those really tough times, and just know that your parents is there. It's
100%. Or parents will figure it. Look, some people don't have moms and dads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We must talk about that too, So if it's an uncle, if it's a father figure, if it's an older brother, they got to be there for them. You know what I mean? Even if it's a very close friend, be there for them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, all we have is each other at the end of the day, and especially when times go bad. And times will go bad. But it doesn't matter who you are, You need your friends, you need your family. It's the most important thing.
Bro, you won gold in the Olympics. That's what baffles my mind, because, like, I think you're the first person that I know personally on a personal level that has gone to the Olympics, done some really amazing stuff. Because when I watched the Olympics at first, I didn't know what the hell was going on, right? Because when Olympics plays, like, it's always on the TV, because you know what I mean? It's like different.
3 weeks of just every sport.
Different, exactly. So I'm watching this swimming content.
I know about that feeling, but I can't tell you the feeling, because it's like, if you're a man that loves money, right? And you win the lotto, I can attribute to that, If you're someone that's like, all they love is money, and they win the ultimate prize, the lotto, whatever it is, 70 million. It's that times 10, because it's something that as a kid, when you're watching Sia lift the trophy last year, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago, wow, time's flying. You're a little kid, 11, 12 years old. You watch these guys, you're like, wow, I want to be like him. And you come up the ranks, you have a bit of downs, you have a bit of ups. You're never the captain of anything until you get, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're in the national team, and then you get called up. You score the winning try in the World Cup. You kick it over in the corner in the last minutes when it's raining and the wind's going down. You lift the trophy. It's the most incredible feeling that you could ever comprehend. Maybe the analogy of the money is a bad example, but it's like whatever you can possibly conceive as pure happiness. It came together in that moment for me, because that's all I wanted, was to beat Michael Phelps. He was my hero growing up. He was my idol. I loved the guy. I had pictures of him on my wall, and I told him, you have your natural flavor. I have my style. I look around. I have a gold on my neck. I have my own little swagger that I do at the pool deck. But the way that you learn how to compete and how to, like, for example, in rugby terms, everyone did the Johnny Wilkinson for how many years? Yankees, all the guys, everyone was doing that. You know what I mean? And you see the high school level, everyone's doing that, and you learn from certain people, and I think all Michael Phelps was doing was destroying people the last 50. That's what his thing was. You know what I'm saying? He was just always good. In the terms to like rugby terms, it was the final 10 minutes.
Final 12 minutes.
No one would beat them.
So he'll burn you there.
Yeah, he was like the bomb squad, Phelps. It was like Rusty's bomb squad coming in the last 15, 20 minutes and just destroying the teams. So that's what and it wasn't by coincidence, It was because of preparation. It was because of my visualization. It was because as a kid, that's all I ever wanted, people talk about the law of attraction and whether you believe it or not.
Yeah, whether you believe it or not.
As a kid, that's what I did. I saw myself doing this 100 times over, 1,000 times over before that race. Maybe not before the race. I wasn't like thinking about that, but like as a kid, that's all I wanted. You can ask anybody that was in my close circle. When I was 18, 19, I was solely focused on racing him. I showed him the most respect by showing him no respect. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
When I raced him, when I was in the core room with him, in the core room with him in London, I knew that he liked to leave the core room last. That was his thing. I studied what he did. So I made sure that I left last as a pipsqueak. 19-year-old, 20-year-old, nobody. I'm a nobody. He's the greatest of all time. He's the he's the Michael Jordan, right, of basketball.
Okay.
And I'm a baby Kobe Bryant that's achieved nothing. That's who I am.
So you basically started as like
I just refused to leave the core room because I was just like, I did it in 2011. I remember, but when he won it, I was like, I'll miss this race. It's the story of the Tyson Fury and the Vladimir Klitschko 3 years before they fought. It's the sauna story.
Yeah.
You know? He refused to get out the sauna before because it was just a mental game, for me. That's what it was at the time. But that's just because I wanted to show him that, like, I'm here to compete. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm here to race. I'm here to try and win, And it was absolutely, I love the guy. Like, I literally worship the guy. But I had to do that for me just to show, like, I'm coming in here, to try and win. And I may never win because you go, right? Yeah. But I'm coming here just to, what I'm trying to say? I love that. I thrived in that environment. I thrived in that chaos as a kid.
And what did he say to you, like, after
after I beat him?
At that moment, did you guys have a conversation?
No, look, he was
How did that conversation go?
I got to be honest. Look, I have to give credit to him. As of many great champions, they're not the best of losers.
Yeah. But
he was really fantastic afterwards. Like 30 minutes after we were in the core room, I was walking in. He was sitting there, I told the story yesterday of how, what I mean? There was the silver, just to paint a picture after you win the Olympics. Yeah. It's the most surreal moment. You have like a little room, there's specifically mirrors everywhere, and you have like the medal ladies, Yeah. And then you have 3 seats, and it's got gold, silver, bronze. And Phelps and Matsuda were sitting on the silver and bronze, and that's when it really hit me. I literally had like tears coming down my face before I even walked in the room because I saw Phelps was sitting at silver and I'm at gold. So it's a surreal moment for someone as a kid, Walking there, and I'm just like, I was literally in tears before I walked out for that ceremony, and I was like emotional, and I was like, I'm sorry guys, this is just like too much for me, This is too much of a moment. Like I told him, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I love you, bro. And like, I'm even like sorry that I did this. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that I beat you because like, you know what I mean? You're my hero, but it was just the most beautiful moment for me, ever.
Oh, powerful. Yeah. Bro. Oh my goodness. I can always, I'm having goosebumps sitting here as if I was with you on the day, because I mean, I'm sure the whole country also was like very ecstatic to watch you to, like do what you did. And tell me that, before you even like get to that point, right? You said preparation, because preparation is everything.
Yes.
Right? Were there ever like moments of doubt? Did you fall off a little bit? And if you did, was there someone that probably said something to you, did something, might not be a great thing, but very significant to you, because it probably made you to be like, hey,
just come back and
refocus again. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So my life was in stages, I look at my life as like seasons, like before 2012, it was like green, very green, kid mind, Chad Le Clos, right? The year of like 2012 and the build up to that. Like I was like in that year, right? But I was on an upward trajectory. The year before, I got 5th at the World Champs in the same field, you know what I'm saying? But that year, I was pretty much ranked 24th in that event in terms of my times.
Yeah.
But I knew that every month that I was going in, I was getting better. You know what I'm saying? There was always a progression for me. Like I keep speaking about the progression. But the doubt was never really there, if I'm being honest, in the sense that like the dream was always there. The dream was always here. You know what I mean? The front side of my brain. Naturally, it was just in my heart. But yeah, there was days when I literally hated swimming, of course. There were days when I was like, I can't believe January of 2012, I was like, I can't believe I'm going back to the pool here. I feel like dying right now. You know what I'm saying? Of course there were days. It was more days than not.
Yeah, yeah.
But the dream was never extinguished. The fire was never extinguished. It was always like, maybe I'm having a bad day. I remember in January 2012, Neil Powell, the sports director of the Sharks, and he was the Sevens who was coming to play there. I remember him and some of the guys came through. It was just for the, they were with my coach Graham at the time. They were, I think, training camp in Durban or whatever, just before they jetted off to Australia. And they came in there, and it was inspiring to see the other guys, come through. And I think for me, I just looked at it as an opportunity, and I just felt like I was blessed, even though I didn't have much in 2012. I'll be honest. I was swimming in a pool that, like, I mean, you can look it on YouTube, Lahey Park. I'm blessed to have that opportunity, but I was in the pool, which I promise you, the Americans, Australians, even some of the South Africans, now I wouldn't have gone and trained.
Yeah.
You know? It was like there was algae there was no starting blocks, there was no flags, you hit your arm on the wall. It wasn't the ideal conditions, but we were warriors. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We were absolute warriors. Well, I was a warrior.
Like the dog fights.
The dogs.
Yeah.
I was a dog, man. I still am a dog, but it was just different back then because I was so hungry, you know. I hadn't achieved it yet, you know. So I hadn't tasted it yet. So I was just so hungry. And I was just, at the end of the day, all it was an opportunity in time where preparation met opportunity and brilliance was, came from it. And I say I was lucky because I was just lucky to have that opportunity in time. That's all I'll say. I wasn't lucky because I worked hard for it and I got my hand on the wall first, but I was lucky for the opportunity, you know, because, you know, not many people get that time. It was perfect. Yeah. I mean, he was in his prime. I beat him in his own game. It was the moment of time. I mean, I wish I could go back to that time, right? I wish I could go back to August 2012 and I would have changed a lot of things after that. So many things. I would have just.
One specific thing that you feel like you could have.
I can't really say it on camera what I would change. And there's nothing too bad. I just don't want to, you know, I just would have I would have probably just left the environment that I was in.
Okay.
Let's just say that, you know, I don't want to talk about names, but I would have left the environment that I was in because I was very unhappy after 2012. I was the most unhappy from 2012 to 2016 Olympics, you know, even though I was the man.
Yeah.
You know, I got all the sponsors, you know, I got a little bit of money here and there and it was, you know, I had a lot of fame and I was loved by everyone. It was probably one of the more unhappy times because I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared to come back and have 15,000 people at Altamba, you know, chanting my name. I wasn't prepared to go to the groceries with my dad and be there for 45 minutes taking pictures, you know, and I wasn't prepared for that. And I loved it. You know, you saw how it is with the younger kids and with the fans of me. I'm blessed for that. I love that. But I wasn't prepared for that because it does, not that it changes you, but it just puts you into like it's just like, before 2012, I'd go wake up at 5, go train, boom, come back, have my steak, sleep. Yeah. Now it's like a whole different life. You know, I got to come here. You know, I'm just saying, do the podcast. You know, I'm trying to say on Monday. Go through all the other meetings, got sponsors to take care of. You know, so I got to make people happy. Got to always be smiling, always be on your game. You know, so just mentally, it just takes away a little bit of the chip of that percentage, if that makes sense. You know, so I wouldn't have changed anything. I just would have put myself in an environment where I was more happy. Yeah, training environment. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because
I love that you sort of like mentioned like how mentally, you know, things can, you know, get tough because, you know, after you equaled the Commonwealth Games when you got your 18th medal, which was a big record. You know, I think that was 2022. Yeah. You kind of like struggled like mentally to a point where you just like needed to get help as well. What was going through your head?
No, so it actually wasn't that year. It was 2020. In 2021, that was a tough time in my life because after 2016, when I pretty much left South Africa to go kind of train abroad, and like I had an international team that I was swimming for, it was a great time. You know, I was world champ after that. I had a really successful run, you know, and I was gearing up to win the Olympics in 2020. You know, so you have to understand in 2016 I got 2 silvers, right, and I got a 4th. The race that I beat Phelps, and Phelps won that race. He came back. Like amazing. I take my hat off to him because he came back and he won and I came 4th. And I always talk about this as being like the worst race of my career. You know, I don't make excuses. I'm not a guy that comes out and goes, this is what happened, you know. Yeah. I'm not like Klopp, you know, coming and saying, no, I'm just joking. I'm just teasing. I'm just joking. I love Klopp actually, even though I'm a United fan. But like, we don't make excuses. That's my motto. So I just said, look guys, it is what it is. We take it on the chin. We lost. Congrats to Phelps. Congrats to everybody. I was just sad I couldn't get the opportunity to run it back with Phelps because we won all at the minutes. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. We won all. We need to settle it. We need another 12-round heavyweight bouts to see who the real champ is. We never got that, you know, but that's okay. I came back. I won the world title the year after that. You know, faster time than Phelps did at the Olympics. And that was for me. That was just personal for me. And then I'm gearing up to come back. And then COVID hits, right? And I'm just in crazy shape. I'm not going to win the Olympics. Let's just not say that, but I'm in shape to get 2 medals for sure. The boy is literally animal shape again, mentally strong. And then COVID hits, and then I can't swim for 6 months, right? And then I come back in October, and they go, now we've got the Olympics back on, and I'm like, all the other guys around the world in Hungary and America had the keys. You know what I'm trying to say? But South Africa was not like that. They didn't.
You didn't get.
Well, I mean, look, I don't want to out anybody, but I know like some of the swimmers, you know, this side had access to guys that were privately run.
Okay,
you know what I mean? So like a lot of the guys that
sure.
obviously did well had access to, you know, they were training some of the squads here because they were privately.
During the heavy.
Yeah, of course, because I mean they had, you know, it was private pool, you know, so it was no problem. You could just come into towns. Like I would go, like, you know, I was blessed, you know, in my old school Westfield Boys High, you know, I was going there early mornings, you know, when it was open.
Yeah.
But people were still like complaining because why am I like, I was like, guys, I'm training for Olympics, bro. Come on, you know? Come on, guys. I'm trying to like, but this was after 7-8 months. I lost a lot of that, and then, you know, I had a bit of an incident which happened in January 2012, which was really a traumatic experience. You know, it was a really, look, I don't really want to talk about it in details, but let's just call it was a traumatic time in my life, which really threw me out of let's just say my way of thinking changed after that day. All right. In January 21. And this was 6 months before the Olympics. So, you know, I'm in a position where I'm like, I'm going to try and regain my titles.
You want to tell me what
I get thrown out of, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So you know, it just was what it was, and I was probably in a state of numbness for a long time, and I didn't seek help. I just wish I had like listened to my parents and like spoken to someone, you know, just like got a little bit of like.
So where did you actually get to speak to someone?
So I only spoke to someone after the Olympics, you know. So the Olympics in 21 in Tokyo, where I got 5th, which was looking back one of the best swims of my life. You know, I missed the medal by like this much, guys. It was like it was like crazy, you know, and like. That was such an amazing swim with everything that I was going through at the time. I was really definitely in a state of like depression at the time, for sure. Because when I walked out for that race, I was numb to everything, you know? I had no emotion, you know?
That does ever come back?
What? The emotion?
That period.
No, I processed it. I processed it, yeah. So I'm good about it now. Like there was a time when I couldn't really talk about it without getting emotional about it. So it wasn't just an incident. It was like a period of time where it just like really threw me out. And I was after the Olympics was really hard for me because at the time I was swimming for ISL. There was like this new swimming league, and it was heavy lockdown still. I was alone in Europe in my room, and there was moments where I was just like, it was a dark time for me. But the message I'd like to say is that like everyone goes through tough times, you know, and I came out of it. I got help. I came back in 22, managed to squeak a silver at the Commonwealth, and that was during 22, you know, relationships ended at the time just before. You know, so it was
friends and
no. My relationship with my long-time, you know, girlfriend at the time ended just before.
Weren't you guys married?
No, we weren't married. No. It was April Fool's joke, but we ended just before. We were together for a long time.
You decided as the prince, the prince of the country. You know, you want to give us a prank like that?
No, look, but. A lot of things.
How did that prank come about? Did you do it?
No, it was.
You were the very mischievous.
I like to make pranks, but we just spoke about it at the time. But this was 2019 time, so we anyway, so you know things ended, and I think this is at 30 years of age. You know, swimmers are retired at 27, 26, like I said. So no one should be swimming at a level that I'm supposed to be swimming at that age. And I just reinvented myself. I said, you know what? It was a clean start for me. And I came back in October 22. I moved to Germany, moved to new coach. Just like clean slates. There was a time in my life where I didn't win for a long time because, let's just say, circumstances. And you know what? I blame myself for that. I take full responsibility for everything because I should have sought help. I should have ended things sooner. I should have decided on things and been a bit more decisive. But you know, I learned from that. I'm not that same guy I was in 2020, 2021. Yeah. So I'm a different man now, and I'm happy. I'm grateful for those experiences, but I did lose a bit of prime time Chad, unfortunately. But you know what? I came back in 22, and that was one of the most, I don't know how I could say it, one of the most important moments of my life. I came back for the World Champs in December 22, and if the fans, you know, listening to this podcast, go have a little look at December Melbourne 2022. It's got like 15 million hits on World Aquatics. It's the most viewed video of me and my dad. It's called Father and Son on YouTube. It's like a 90-second clip, and it shows me winning the world title 12 years on from when I was first world champion in December 2010 in Matric. That was my first world title. I was 18. I was the youngest ever world champion, and then I became the oldest world champion in that event at 200 fly. 30 years.
Basically full circle.
12 years later. I mean, obviously I won in between. I mean, it was my 16th individual world title. So no South African has ever come close to that mark. But I broke that record. It was the second fastest time in history. I missed the world record by this at 30 years of age when everyone said I was done. And that's when I announced the world Chad Le Clos 2.0. And I said, I knew you guys doubted me. I knew you doubted me, but doubt me now. Came back. I won the world title again 2 days later. I was double world champion at 30 years of age.
That must have felt really good.
Good is not a good emotion to say. It felt like an Olympic gold to me that day, even though it wasn't nearly the prestige of the Olympics. You have Olympics, you have world long course, world short course, Commonwealth Games, nationals. That's the order. So that's like the third big major for us, but it meant more, like just as much as the gold medal at the Olympics.
Just as much as the gold.
Because it proved to myself that I am who I say I am. And I've always said,
and after those tough times
exactly,
you really went through.
Exactly. And I've always said, you don't judge a man or woman's character for how he celebrates victory. You judge it for when his back's against the wall. Because that's true character. Everyone can be good when times are good. You know what I mean?
When the sun is
out, Liverpool now, they're winning 15 points. It is what it is. You want to see how United come back.
United must come back, bro. They must come back before I leave. Before I take my bags and leave,
100%.
You're not a fan?
Big time.
Why did you tell me this? I mean, I know you're a Sox fan. Okay, cool.
Of course.
We have something in common there.
Exactly. It's always tough.
Why did you tell me you're not a fan,
United,
bro?
of course, bro. Come on. Couldn't you tell by the way we...
No.
Don Julio.
No. Okay. No, I didn't get it at all. Really?
Big time, yeah. My dad went there in 95 with his cousin.
Did you guys go?
No, 95, I was a baby. I was 3 years old. But he went there and he bought me a shirt back.
Yeah.
Number 7, So ever since then, I've been a United fan. So it was nice.
I don't know. When I became a United fan, I think I just looked at the Premier League and it's like the color red.
Yes.
I was like, no, I'm going to go with this one.
I had no choice, bro. Listen to my dad, bro. You have no choice, boy.
No, bro. Like, that is really amazing, bro. But I'm really glad that you really came out of those really tough times, bro. Stronger. When you came back and you won. I think this must be the greatest feeling ever.
Thank you.
And then now with the work that you're actually doing now, it's really, really inspiring what I've seen you do this past 2 days. Just being able to, give back. And the thing is, for me, I watched you and I think the way in which you did it, it wasn't a thing of, I'm just here. I'm just going to say a few sentences because of the knowledge that I have. But physically, from step 1 to the last step, each child getting that individual, feel, to actually learn and suck knowledge of a sponge from a guy like you, bro. Like, that is really amazing. And I think those kids are going to really,
I appreciate that.
Really inspired one day to do what you did and even better, maybe.
Hopefully. I mean, no, I appreciate that a lot, man. I think we've been working on this with my team since 2019.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that I was present for this. I wanted to make sure that when I start these programs with my foundation, Chad Le Clos Foundation, and the Chad Le Clos Academy, it's be coming out very, very soon. We started with 2 clinics in Joburg. We're going to do another 2 in Cape Town and Durban. Hopefully, Kabeja. We're going to try hit all the cities very, very soon. International clinics we're going to be doing. But the reason I wanted to do it now was because I knew I was taking off time. Got a bit of an injury now, but it was more, I was always taking off 6 months after this Olympics just to let myself recover, but also just to be present for these moments. I'm not one of the guys that want to just send my team in there. I could have done this 5 years ago, and done this. I want to make sure that every kid, like you said, feels like they're being a part of something bigger. Yeah. And, not every kid's going to be Olympic champion, right? Not every kid's going to pick up the World Cup trophy. But you know what? The most important thing is, besides having fun, being the best version of yourself that you can be. Yeah. And that's all I want the kids to be. If they took anything from the talk, from the 3 hours that we spent with them, it's just being the best version of yourself that you can be, striving for excellence and setting your goals, whatever that may be, no matter how big or how small they are. It's all the same thing. My dad always said, win your Olympic gold medal. If my potential is winning the Olympic gold medal, maybe Johnny over there, his potential is to be the captain of his school team. And him being the captain of the school team is bigger than my Olympic gold medal. Yeah. Think about that for a sec. Yeah. It's more powerful than that. Some of the kids that we're going to be going into the township very, very soon. And this is purely pro bono. This is foundation work. And we've got amazing people on board. We're such an amazing team. And, my mom's heavily involved in this. And we want to do learn to swim programs because, like we spoke off camera, untapped potential in the communities. Yeah. It's about opportunity, my friend. We spoke about this off camera. Yeah. The reason why rugby, football, cricket is all thriving and getting to things is because they started these programs 15, 20 years ago. look at the schools and the townships, they're playing rugby. We're getting more kids through the ranks coming through. Why we don't have swimmers? Why don't we have swimmers?
Yeah.
We need to learn to swim program. We need to understand that, firstly, it's 75% of people in South Africa don't know how to swim. Did you know that? Did you know how crazy that is? Do you know how mind-blowing that is?
I think there's a heavy stat of so many people that cannot
swim. Do you know how crazy that is? Just think about that. 75% of people can't swim. That means if we throw 3/4 of our population into the ocean, we're going to drown. We're going to lose 3/4 of our population. Do you know how crazy that is?
We're scared of the water, bro.
That's what I'm saying, but we shouldn't be there.
We're so scared of the water.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy.
Because, outside myself and my sister, I mean, okay, we love the water. But like if you look at my some of my peers, bro, they don't want to even touch it. Because I don't know. I think there's something that comes with like being terrified.
But you know what?
With the ocean.
But it's something that, that's what I'm trying to say. It's something we gotta change. In order listen, kids should not be dying in rivers or waters. It should be a necessity learn to swim. It should be. I mean, in some countries, it's in the law. You have to learn how to swim.
How to swim?
Yeah, countries in Europe, there's in the legislation, whatever you call it, it's a learn to swim. It's in schools. You have to learn how to swim. I don't know why it's not that in South Africa. It should be necessity for every kid. Do you know how many kids I know of over the course of the last 15 years they've drowned? Some people.
Yeah. We hear a lot of that.
It's crazy, brother. It's crazy. You know what I mean? And it's a skill that you can learn so easily. And like you say, you're terrified of the water. You shouldn't be terrified of the water. With the programs that we're going to be rolling out, we will show you that you don't have to be terrified of the water. Right? I can't talk it through on the podcast. But it's a very easy thing. You saw the one lady that came on the first day.
Yeah.
45, couldn't swim at all. Did you see how she was swimming at the end?
She couldn't swim.
Remember the lady, the older lady?
She said she couldn't swim.
Couldn't swim.
And she could float.
We taught her how to swim.
Okay.
In 3 hours, we taught her how to swim. Taught her how to swim.
Because I saw
she could barely float. She could barely float.
Freestyle stuff.
Did you see how she was swimming freestyle? How impressive that was. 45-year-old lady came through. We explained to her that this is how you got to do it. We need 30 minutes just to explain it all. Show her the basic techniques. Look, you just need to learn how to float firstly. You learn how to stay calm. Because at the end of the day, in the water, if you get, for example, in the ocean, if you jump off the pier and you get sucked out by the ocean, what's the first thing that everyone does, including myself?
Panic.
What's the first thing you shouldn't be doing? Don't panic. Let the current take you out. It's fine. And once the rip takes you out, you have to know how to swim to come around the bend. That's how we trained as lifeguards.
Listen to me. You see, as you're explaining this thing to me right now, listen. Let the current take you. Swim around the bend.
Yeah.
Listen.
This is advanced.
I'm just like,
no, man.
I'm like, what? In my head, I've been looking at you. I'm like,
professionals, guys.
So now, because I'm thinking now, if you have to explain, right, to a gorgeous lady, a lady looking at you and a gorgeous man, and you're telling her, you know what? Don't panic. Let the ocean take you. So she's just looking at you. She doesn't understand what you're saying. She's just looking at you like, oh, Chad, you're so beautiful.
Stop it.
Oh, Chad.
QCC, guys. QCC.
How am I going to teach
No.
how to swim and you look like this?
Listen. It's very easy. This is for the lifeguards. This is for Olympic level.
Okay.
Swimming in the ocean. This is not for learn to swim. What I'm trying to say is, if me and you are going to go swim and you just know how to float, I would never take you in the ocean. I'm just in the pool where you got to understand the basic idea of floating. That's it.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I panic in the ocean. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm scared of snakes, terrified of snakes. But if we're going to show me how to touch a snake.
How you live in Germany, you're terrified of snakes, bro.
If you put, they put the part in. Yeah. How you get me not terrified of snakes? You put the part in, you put the head over there. You say, just touch the tail. Then you say, touch it there. Then you put the thing around you, so it's not going to bite you. Okay. And then eventually you become a snake handler. You can take the black mamba by the head because you know how to handle it. Understand? This is the levels of swimming.
All right, cool. All right.
I still won't touch a snake. I don't bring a snake near me either. In your car, hey, Kajima.
In your car, hey.
Hey.
It's actually really good.
A little bit.
Huh? No, I love. Do you ever say any Clos words? Do you know any Clos words?
Nah, not too much. I'm not going to say on camera. I don't know too much.
You just need to know, see, I'm tired. That's it, bro.
Exactly.
That's my
time.
Yeah, there we go. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Chad, actually, bro, I have a wonderful surprise for you today, bro.
What's that?
Yeah?
It's not a snake, eh?
It's a surprise.
Yeah, bro.
It's a surprise.
All right.
But don't rush it. It's going to come to you. It's going to hit you like a surprise should.
Okay. Cool.
But I hope you really like it.
Okay.
Because I had to go and really.
I don't have to close my eyes for it, right?
Yeah?
I don't have to close my eyes for it.
No, bro. Don't do that. As I said, it will still hit you. Well, maybe you manage to do that. But I'll tell you. So I've given you a clue of what it is.
All right. We'll see.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are we doing it now?
No, it's coming. Don't worry. For now. So foundation is up. So what are the nearest sort of things that you're sort of like aiming to do now? Because you said with the clinics you did now, just like pretty much you haven't started yet.
Yes.
So it's just pretty much of like a
taster,
a teaser, a taster, or stuff. So what now? Like what's the next move for it? Like where you going with it?
So with the foundation, we want to enroll into all the major communities in South Africa. We want to start obviously in Durban, commercial, we have grown up. We want to do learn to swim programs. We want to do quarterly learn to swim programs because they have some pools that are nearby. We want to take 100 kids. Eventually, this is the plan with the foundation. Once we have, I can't speak too much about my big plans because it ties into my academy. So with my academy, we want to have a swim school in South Africa, right? We want to have an opportunity to give learn to swim through to elite levels because we have all the expertise. We just basically need to sort it all out, you know? Once that happens, we're going to have weekly programs where we're going to have kids from all around the country coming in for learn to swim programs. Then after a year, they move into the next phase. It's all going to be pro bono, funded by my foundation. Sure. Right? So everything's going to be funded by my foundation. Okay. Obviously all for free. Yeah. And then obviously we're going to have an elite squad. We're going to have a team that we're going to have. This is an online program that's starting. So the clinic we did yesterday was for more of an elite level swimming. Yeah. But we're going to start doing programs in swimming. There's level 1, there's level 2, there's level 3.
So it's levels.
Elite, yeah. So level 1, level 2 is like, level 1 is like very basic. Level 2 is like pretty good. Level 3 is like, I'm level 3, you know, like the kids, you know, usually like 15, 16, you get to like level 3, senior nationals level, you know, in those 4 stages. We're going to do different sort of clinics for those guys. Okay. But that's going to be more of an advanced course. Like yesterday and the day before was more of like a medium advanced. The problem is we had a lot of young kids and we had a bit of older guys. We want to next time have full range of like level 3 swimmers so we can do a much more advanced clinic. Yeah. Because it was a bit hard to manage, like you saw yesterday, with both sides. And we want to do a purely learn to swim base, purely like intermediate phase of skills and drills that we want to implement. Because in swimming, like I said back in our earlier conversation, we want to make sure that we're not killing swimmers. I want to see swimmers go on till 20, 25, 30. I want them to, it must be a lifestyle. It's a life skill. You understand? Swimming is not hit and run here. You know, we want to make it like it's like people on the promenade running. Running is like people are running all the time. And the best thing about swimming is you can swim when you're 75 years old. Yeah. It's good on your joints. It's good on your muscles. You see some of the old ladies and guys in the pool swimming with me, 74, 75 years old, swimming 15, 20 minutes a day. It's the most amazing thing. And there's only a handful of those people that do that. But why can't most swimmers have that?
Most swimmers said that, yeah.
Because they get killed as youngsters. They don't want to go near the pool. Yeah. That's why I'm still around here at 33. I'm a grandpa in the game. Trust me, I'm a pensioner in this game. I'm a pensioner. You know what I mean?
You look too good to be old.
Nah, stop.
Please, bro. Listen, before I get you a surprise, right? I need you to do me a great favor. Okay? Okay. I want you to look at your camera over there, right? And just words of inspiration, you know, motivation, or even anything that's in your heart that, you know, to someone that's out there just like looking, you know, at you, probably wanting to be, you know, an Olympic champion like you one day, or just simply just being a good man, probably going through a tough time. Sure. Do you know what I mean? This is a message from Chad Le Clos. You know what I mean?
And camera.
That's your camera over there.
Hey guys, it's Chad here. Listen, the most important lesson I learned as a kid was just never to give up. That's the motto I've stuck by my whole life. Dream big, never give up. Whether you're running a race, swimming a race, playing rugby, and you're 40 points down, you fight till the end. We don't give up. When I'm coming 8th in the race, and I can maybe catch 7th, you swim for pride. You never slow down the last 5 minutes. You put your head down at the finish. We never quit. All right? Like I said earlier, your character is not judged when times are going good, because everyone can be good when times are good. When times are bad, that's when true character comes out. So stick through the bad times because the tough people do. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. Smile during the tough times because you know you're going to come out the other side. Stay strong, brother.
Smile like Chad.
Let's go.
All right, Teddy, I've got you. So I told you I have a surprise for you.
All right.
So my surprise, let it please come forward so that we can have. I think we need to probably even clear up some space for my surprise because I'm going to surprise. Got a big surprise here. So Teddy, let me introduce you to these young gentlemen here. They're all the way from the Eastern Cape. Ekomani,
Ekomani.
Yeah. First of all, let's just see what they can do.
All right.
Just see what they can do. Soul melodies.
How's that? Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Huh? How you doing, brother? Right. So you're slotting in here? Yeah, you're just slotting here somewhere. We don't need the mics. No, they need the mics, huh? Just slotting here somewhere. What you guys want to come sit down? Yeah. So you can get a bit of all right, I can pull you out. And I come closer to me, man. Come closer.
Mike's needed.
Let's just stay here. Okay, You comfortable, yeah? You good? Yeah, I'm That was beautiful, guys. Thank you so much. Sure, I hope you got that on video. That was beautiful, guys.
But that was Chad. Yeah. Surprise, Chad. I got him really good. I got him really good. So, please, guys, please do make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and just join in the conversation as well. We've got Chad Le Clos in the building. We've got Soul Medicals and also in the building, guys. Soul Melodies in the building. You guys, I'll introduce these guys much later on. Just make sure you just stay tuned into my YouTube, social media spaces, Instagram, TikTok. I can let you in on this gentleman over here because when I was a Kayab, Mrs. Cape, do you know what I mean? All the way from Ekomani. Guys, thank you so much for watching and let's go.
Thanks, guys. That was beautiful, guys. Really beautiful, man. Beautiful, guys. Thank you. Can we get that voice? Let's get a nice team picture, eh? That'll be so sick.
Just a last one there. So say something quickly.
Oh, okay. Back in. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. All right. This got just deep inside, true?
All right. So guys, this is how we're ending off our episode today in a very amazing way. I told you guys I had a surprise for Chad, and I surprised him in a very big way. I didn't expect this one. All right, so ending it off with the legend. So guys, please do make sure that you subscribe, like, share, and comment. All right, get engaged with us, man. And let us know how you feel. All right, and just to make sure to follow Chad Le Clos also on Instagram, and also to follow Soul Melodies, guys. These guys are really amazing. All right, they know how they're doing. So also make sure that you follow me on my social media platforms, my Instagram, my TikTok. So let you know about these guys because they're really amazing. When I say Kaya, look up, do you know what I mean? And we're obviously doing this, guys, live from Temple Luxury Restaurant. Shout out to Temple in a big way because they really have our backs for these episodes and when we come and shoot here. And that is beyond the game. All right. So that's enough for us for today. See you guys later. Let's go.